What's going on, everybody? It's the Granddad Wooly, and we are back again with our second end of the year list, and it's time to talk albums, y'all. I mean, I know y'all like the movies and the games and the series shit, but y'all come here for the albums. I know it. You ain't gotta lie. I know it. So now we're gonna talk about my top 10 unreviewed albums as well as my top 5 letdowns of 2018. Yes, I'm gonna talk about 10 albums that I didn't review. Either I slept on them or I just didn't get a chance to review it and it was a little bit too past the time for me to get to it. And then albums that I just felt like should have been better, could have been better, I hoped to have been better, but wasn't, and they kind of just fell by the wayside this year and were just a bit of a letdown. I'm gonna go through all of those and give my breakdowns for them. So let's start with our top 10 unreviewed albums, the albums that I slept on, and this is in order of release date, y'all, because you know that's how I do it, because it's easy and simple. But these are 10 albums that I listened to that I thoroughly enjoyed, that I just, like I said, didn't get a chance to review, but I do want to give them some kind of shine and spotlight and let y'all know that these are albums that you should definitely check out and listen if you have not. So the first album on the list goes to Saba with Care For Me. Now, Saba is an amazingly talented artist from Chicago. I really became a fan of him after hearing Bucket List Project, which is one of my favorite albums of the year that it dropped. So when he came back with Care For Me, I was looking for something that I really didn't get, but I got something a lot more better in my opinion. Care For Me is a really dope album that's highly personal. It centers around Saba's grief and just the things that he goes through dealing with the murder of his cousin, and just the emotional pain and struggles that he goes through this album is amazing. You can hear it in the tone of his voice, the delivery, everything he says, the lyricism. This album is very heartfelt and personal, and I really wish I would have got a chance to review it, but it's just like an album that I just didn't get to immediately when it came out, but I really think it's a dope album. Saba is an amazingly talented dude, like I said, from his rapping to even his singing voice, even down to the way he picks his production, and everything on this album just feels so heartfelt and real. And it's not even a long album, but it just, you can just really feel Saba's pain and just him expressing it so much in this album. It's a great project. Definitely one you should check out. I care for this album, so you should too. So if you have not listened to Care For Me, definitely check it out and check out the rest of Saba's work, because he is a phenomenal artist. He's really dope, and I can't wait to hear what he does next. So yeah, that's on the list for sure. The next album on the list, y'all, is another album that I slept on. It's from one of my favorite rappers of all time, Styles P, G-Host. Now, Styles P had an amazing 2018. I mean, he dropped a ton of work. Of course, like I said, G-Host this album, as well as Dime Bag, the project with Dave East, a couple EPs. I think he dropped another EP called like Nickel Bag as well. I mean, Styles P was putting in work in 2018, and it would have been unfair for me not to mention this album, because it is a dope-ass album. It's your grade A Styles P banger with great lyricism, dope-ass beats, a lot of good features on here, and Styles P's just been maintaining this consistency for a long time. I think out of the whole Lox crew, Styles P is my favorite personally, but also he is the most consistent when it comes to dropping quality work. So definitely check out G-Host, as well as all the other stuff that he dropped. Like I said, Dime Bag, the project Beloved with Dave East is also dope. I mean, just Styles P is on fire. I mean, come on, it's the Ghost, it's the Phantom, it's the Gangster, the Gentleman. He's got too many goddamn names. He's the Juice Man, because OJ the Juice Man, but he be selling them juices and shit. Like, he's a clean eating motherfucker now, but he's still gangster as fuck. But it's a dope ass album. Definitely check out G-Host. It's on point. Fire. Next album on the list, y'all, was really dope, and like a lot of people probably wouldn't expect me to have it on here because it's not really a quote-unquote hip-hop album, but it is by two quote-unquote hip-hop producers who have turned to composers, and I'm talking about The Midnight Hour, which is comprised of Adrian Younge and Ali Shaheed Muhammad. This album is fucking phenomenal. I love this album. It's sort of a jazz, soul, a little bit of hip-hop fusion in there, but it's all originally composed music by these two. All this music is like from scratch from them. They play all the instruments on here. They have great features on here, like, you know, Bilal's on here. That nigga Bilal's and everything, as well as Luther Vandross, CeeLo Green, Marsha Ambrosius, Ladybug Mecca. I mean, there's a ton of great features on here, and as well as it's just like an amazing vinyl, like right here. I got the vinyl of it too, y'all, and guess what? This is signed by Adrian Younge himself. I had to stunt a little bit, y'all, but I got this in LA at his store, the Art Form Studio, and he was there. So, you know, he was nice enough to chat with your boy, sign the vinyl, and I'm actually going to go to their show that's in Atlanta. It will be today, y'all. When you see this video, I'm going to be at the show most likely. But it's a dope-ass album. I listen to it almost every night when I'm driving home. If I'm driving home late at night and I need something to just kind of reflect and just think on, this is what I pop in. It's a great album. great instrumentation on here, great musical pieces on here, and it's a good ass album. It's 20 tracks. It's well over an hour long, but like you do not get tired of listening to this project because the music is so damn good. But definitely check it out, The Midnight Hour. Cop it on vinyl, cop it wherever you're gonna get it, but listen to it because it is a great project, a great album, and it's good to see that producers like Ali Shaheed Muhammad and Adrian Younge are really taking it that next level and creating music from scratch. Nothing wrong with sampling. I love sampling too, but the fact that they're able to create music from scratch and make their own music from their own mind, it's great and it sounds amazing. So yeah, get on that shit. Next album on the list, y'all, was an album that I was late to the party to as well, but when I finally listened to it, I really enjoyed it because of its abstractness, its lo-fi sound, as well as just it being a very unique and very dense album to it. And I'm talking about Billy Woods and Elucid as Arm & Hammer with the album Paraffin. This album is fucking dope as hell, y'all. And honestly, I was late to the Arm & Hammer party, no baking soda, but it was really, really good to hear a very, very refreshing album because this album right here, to the ear, is completely different. The beats on here are very wild and kind of chaotic and all over the place, but I like shit like that, and it really is very unique, and it is dope, and it fits Billy Woods and Elucid style so damn well. There's a lot of food for thought and a lot of clever lines on here peppered all over this project, and it just really just comes off as a very unique album on a lot of fronts. And it was something that when I first listened to it, I had to really just like, I enjoyed it on the first listen because of how unique it was, but when I really dove into the album's content, I really appreciated it more, especially for what Billy Woods and Elucid were saying and touching on, and it's just a really dope ass album. So if you're into abstract hip hop and you want to listen to some crazy beats, bars, concepts, and just something that's very, very unique, definitely check out this album. It is up your alley. Paraffin is a dope-ass album. Arm & Hammer is killing it. So get on that shit and grab you some bacon soda while you're at it. Because, you know, sometimes you need that shit if you're on top of the fridge or in the fridge to keep shit fresh. Like this album is fire. The next album on the list is the album that I'm most upset that I did not review because I had to go out of town last minute and I was just gone and I just could not do the shit. And I'm so pissed because I love this album. I'm talking about Noname, Room 25. Noname is so goddamn good. Now, I'm going to be real with y'all. When Telephone dropped, I did not hop on the Noname train. I was like, it's cool, it's whatever. I really just didn't get with her flow that much because it was kind of off kilter a bit. And I just didn't really like, you know, gel with her so well. But on this album, from the moment that this shit starts, I was like, okay, I'll fuck with this. She sounds more polished, she sounds more confident, she sounds more mature on all fronts. The subject matter on here is dope. The fucking fact that she's really just like coming out of her shell. She's talking about the fact that she's trying to be a vegan, but it's not working out too well. She's lost her virginity, so she's really dealing with the whole relationship thing as well, and as far as what's going on with that, and just her talking about things like black people and just black society and culture, and she does it in her own way. It's a dope-ass album. The production is phenomenal. There's also a lot of great features on here from Saba and Smino and Raven Lene, and I just gotta say, like, I might get in trouble for this, y'all, but Self is one of the best intros I've heard in a long time. Like, Self is like, I'm putting it up in that category of like accordion with mad villainy. And I'm saying it, this is why I'm saying it. It sets off the tone of this album so perfectly. And it's just like this encompassment. The beat is just perfect. Her delivery is just perfect. It's the perfect length to make you want to just play that song over and over again. It just has this, I just got this accordion like vibe from it. And it's like when it sets off this album the way that it sets off, and then it just continues to get better and better. That's what I just got to say that, y'all. So don't crucify me. I'm not saying it's better. I'm just saying it's at that level for me. When I pop on this album, I get that same vibe of just like, okay, this is about to be an amazing project in her own right. And that's really, really dope for me to say that about an artist, especially an artist like Noname who hasn't been in the game for that long. But this album, Room 25, is phenomenal. I'm just going to say, if I reviewed it, it would have definitely had a spot in the top 15 because it's dope as fuck. So shout out to Noname. Keep up the great work. Cannot wait for the next album. And I definitely will make sure I review that shit, Noname. I'm not going to miss out on that one because this one right here, fucking phenomenal. The next album on the list, y'all, was one that I got put on by somebody. I think somebody on Twitter or maybe on the comment section put me onto this because I really didn't even know it dropped, but I'm glad that they did. I wish I knew your name. I would have shouted you out. But I'm talking about Vinnie Paz, The Pain Collector. This album is so fucking dope. Like, this is like your quote-unquote grade A underground boom bap banger album. Like, for those who don't know who Vinnie Paz is, he's a legend on the underground scene, a legend in the game. Of course, you know, you know, Jedi Mind Tricks, Army of the Pharaohs, all that good shit. But like literally, this album right here is so dope. The beats on here are grimy and hard hitting. Vinnie Paz is coming in with bar after bar, but at the same time, he's giving us a lot of dope subject matter. And you're gonna get them hard ass Vinnie Paz lines where he's talking about fucking you up and just how much doper he is than you. I mean, he is dope as fuck, but as well as some very heartfelt and personal subject matter as well, with him growing up and his family and just the people that he's grown up around and what he's seen. But he also has one of the most unique outros that I've probably heard on any album this year, where he pretty much does a chronological like depiction of every president, I think, from the past, like I think probably 20 years, I think, the 15, 20 years, but he just talks about the effects of each president that has had on our country and society, from like the Reagan era to the Bush era, the Carter era, the Clinton era, the other Bush era, you know, all that shit. He just talks about all those things and just pretty much says what happened in the country and what they did and how much fucked up shit that they did to us, and as far as just the whole world is concerned. So it's dope as hell that he really just was able to do that in a very, very clear, concise, and just descriptive way, and it makes you really open your eyes to certain things. It's really, really dope. So I think Vinnie Paz, The Pain Collector, is an amazing album. It's a slept-on album because I didn't hear too many people talking about it, but I had to put it on the list. So check that shit out if you're a fan of Vinnie Paz. But if not, if you're just a fan of dope-ass boom bap, hard-hitting rap, this is your shit. Check it out. It's fire. The next album on the list, y'all, was an album that I actually did review, but the card that I used, I got corrupted for some reason, so all those files were lost. And I was like, fuck it, I'm not doing this shit again. Like, whatever, it's a wash. But I'm going to talk about it. Ghostface Killah, The Lost Tapes. Now, this album right here, I guess you can consider it a Ghostface Killah album, but it's literally features on every track. But the thing about it is, you still get a good amount of Ghostface on here. He's on every track, but the feature list on this album is fucking crazy. He's got everybody from King Crooked to Snoop to E40, Bishop Lamont, a ton of Wu-Tang affiliates. I mean, Killer Priest is on here, also Capadonna's on here, Raekwon's on here, Ras Kass is on here as well. I mean, Planet Asia's on here. It's a lot of spitters on here. It's a lot of bars on this here. And I gotta say, the beat on Constant Struggle, the whole song, but the beat is just so goddamn good. That beat, the moment I heard that beat, I was like, this shit is fucking amazing. I need that shit in my life. But yo, this album right here just shows that Ghostface still has it. He does sound a little bit different these days, but he's really coming in with some really grade A bars, some good concepts, some good storytelling, of course. Great features on here. So even though there's a ton of features on this project, it doesn't really feel like it's too much because everybody on here is bringing their A game, and it's just bar after bar with each verse. So I thoroughly enjoyed this shit. Check out The Lost Tapes. It's fire. Next album on the list, y'all, was an album from the Griselda camp. And no, it is not YSIV Gun Supreme Blientele. I'm sorry, y'all. Like, look, I'm going to say this one last time. YSIV Gun, yes, he got bars, he is dope, but I just cannot listen to him rap. His rap voice just, I can't do it for a certain amount of time. I'm good for like a song, maybe two, but a whole album, I just can't do it. I just can't. I'm sorry, like, sorry. So it's not that album. Don't fucking tell me where it's at. Don't ask me about the shit. I know, just, it's not that. But it is Benny the Butcher, Tanna Talk 3. Benny is fucking dope. Benny is grimy. Like, I fuck with Benny, I fuck with Conway, and I do fuck with Westside. I just can't listen to his shit for more than like a few songs because of the voice is what it is. But this fucking album right here is so fucking nasty. Benny the Butcher is like, I was sleeping on him. Like, at first, honestly, like, y'all, I really was like, he was like the last cat from Griselda for me to really listen to. But I think out of all the projects from Griselda to drop, this is probably my favorite or one of my favorites. And like, honestly, his bars are gritty and grimy. The beats that he chooses are fucking dope. You got the Alchemist production on here, which is fucking amazing. And it's just some real grade A street rap. You can tell it's authentic to the core. And I'm just wondering, Benny, is you a real butcher though? Like, honestly, like, am I gonna catch you at the supermarket, chopping up meat and shit, and you're selling it for 2 for $5 on the pound? I'm just want to know, because I mean, you know, you can do that shit real easy. But honestly, this is a dope ass album. Griselda's doing their thing. I wish though that they have more of a prominent light, especially because I think they're signed with Shady, but I haven't, like, the thing about it is, like, I haven't seen Shady do really anything with this Griselda deal. I don't know if it's still even there. I mean, they're putting out constant work, but it doesn't seem like Shady's really like doing nothing to push them out to the forefront. I hope they do, because Griselda's got a really talented camp. Even though I can't get with Westside's voice, I do respect what he's done, and especially I love the fact that he incorporates wrestling as well as Conway. I love Conway's work. His features are always dope, and Benny the Butcher is another one. So they got a strong ass core unit, and they really need to be pushed out there more to the forefront. But this shit right here, fucking dope. The next project, y'all, is actually an EP, but it's a dope-ass project from one of my favorite producers of all time, so you definitely gotta check this shit out. I'm talking about the Alchemist Bread EP. Now, Alchemist has been dropping little projects and singles for the past year or two, and they've all been quality and all been solid, but I really enjoyed this one because the features on here, yes, it's got YSIV Gun and Conway, and like I said, I enjoy YSIV Gun. Like, for a verse, maybe a song or two, he's good. But after a while, I gotta chill on that. But the YSIV Gun Conway joint that opens it up is fucking fire. Then we get another dope joint with Rock Marciano and Black Thought killing it. And then it rounds out with a dope-ass Earl Sweatshirt joint. It sounds good. The beats, of course, are on point. And Alchemist is just showing that he's continuing to be more and more consistent as the years go. And I just can't wait to see what he's got up next. Hopefully, I'm looking out for a new Step Brothers album with him and Evidence. I've been waiting for one of them for a long time. So hopefully we get one of those soon, as well as whatever else he's going to be working with or whoever else he's going to be working with. But you know, if Alchemist is attached to it, the beats are going to be on point. And this EP is fire. And the last slept on project or unreviewed project is really 3 projects that I just crammed into one because it was all done by one dude and he dropped them pretty much a week apart or a couple weeks apart. And I'm talking about Big K.R.I.T with TRIFECTA, Double Down, and Thrice. Or was it Thrice first? It was Thrice first, then it was Double Down, then TRIFECTA. But all 3 of them EPs, Big K.R.I.T showed up with a low-key album that was really, really fucking dope and fire. Now, I mean, from the momentum of his last project, which was almost my album of the year, but K.R.I.T is just keeping that momentum with a lot of good songs on all these projects, and the fact that he was able to just roll this out in a very unique way by dropping a little bit here, a little bit there, but keeping the same theme and just kind of showing that, oh, I'm still here, I'm still doing my thing. I really appreciate it, and it's really a solid little EP. I mean, there's great moments on here, great songs and subject matter. Of course, K.R.I.T always keeps it real. The beats are banging, and I just really enjoyed what he did. And I mean, he should have just made it a whole project and just dropped it all at once, but I do like how he rolled it out. It was very unique. So I'm hoping we get another full-length album from K.R.I.T because his last album was almost my album of the year. It was amazing for a double album especially. So hopefully we get another album next year, like I said, because K.R.I.T always brings that fire, and I just can't wait to see what he does next. But this shit right here, on point. All 3 of them was on point. And those are my top 10 albums, y'all, that I did not review, the ones that were slept on in the review series, but it's all good because I gave them their shine. But now, let's get into the top 5 letdowns of the year. It's that time, y'all, for me to talk about the albums that just disappointed me the most, or I just wish were better or should have been better, that was not better. And for the first time, I'm going to give you my worst album that I just absolutely could not fucking stand to hear or just hate it. So that my worst album of the year will be in this list. It'll be the last one. But the first album on the list goes to Nas with Nasir. Nas was like, I was waiting for this album. I was hoping for this album a lot. Like, the fact that it was all produced by Kanye West, I had high hopes for this. And when it dropped, it just didn't do what I thought it was going to do. I mean, it has some good songs on here, but like, honestly, for the rollout of it, which the album dropped late too, it didn't even drop the day it was supposed to be. I'm blaming Kanye for that shit. But the album dropped late, and then when it came out, it just was like, eh. I mean, there were some cool moments on here. It had a cool opening, you know, with Diddy doing his thing and whatnot. But then you had the songs like Cop Shot the Kid, where the beat was just mad annoying after a while, even though it had that Slip Rick sample in there. I wish it was shot a little bit differently. And I just think that this album just didn't hit like it should have. I thought this album was going to be amazing. And then we find out that this really isn't even the real Nas album that he was working on. So hopefully we get that real Nas album that's supposed to drop hopefully next year. But this one right here just was a bit of a letdown. I really didn't even go back to it after I reviewed it because it just wasn't that much to it for me to really check out. There were some joints on here, like I said, but I wish it would have been better, especially with the hype surrounding it, the fact that Kanye produced the whole thing. But I mean, I think that was actually a flaw or a detriment to it in the end, because I just don't think Kanye and Nas gelled well on that project. But, you know, hopefully the next album that Nas is doing, the one that's supposed to be the real one, is better, and hopefully we get it soon. But yeah, Nas is a letdown for this year. The next album on the list, y'all, really hurts my heart to put it on this list. Even though I gave it a very highly, I gotta be honest with you, because I had such high expectations for this album, and they just did not meet them. It was just like they really just kind of baselined this album for the most part, and I don't know why, but it is what it is. And I'm talking about Czarface and MF Doom, Czarface meets Metalface. This was tough, y'all. I really didn't want to put this on the letdown list, but I had to be honest with myself. I had such high expectations because I love Czarface so much. All their albums have been phenomenal up to this point. MF Doom is my favorite, or one of my favorite rappers of all time. And the fact that they were coming together to do a project, I had high hopes for this because Czarface and Metalface, the whole comic book theme. Their styles are just so intertwined so well. This could have been a great, amazing conceptual album, but instead it just seemed like we got some beats and some verses just sent in and rhymed over with no real theme or no real concept, and it just felt like they kind of phoned it in here and there, and there just wasn't really any high moments on this project for me. Don't get me wrong, it's still dope. There's still some solid songs on here, but for the fact that these two entities came together, I really thought we were going to get a phenomenal album that would have been the best of the year, and it just did not. When it came to collaboration albums, this was on the lower tier, and it sucks, but hopefully the Czarface and Ghostface album that's coming out next year is going to be better than this. I really hope it is better, because I know that the potential was lost in this album, but like hopefully they come back and they bring in, like I said, they incorporate somebody like Kool Keith or Dr. Octagon and really just kind of beef it up a little bit. I would like to see them get another crack at this, but this one right here, it was dope, but still a letdown. So it was tough, y'all, but I had to say it, and I still love y'all, though. I still love y'all. It's just, I gotta be real. I gotta be fucking real, but hopefully, I'm looking out for Czarface and Ghostface. Hopefully that one gives me what I wanted, because I know that's gonna be dope. I hope it's gonna be fucking dope. But yeah, Czarface meets Letterface. It was a letdown. The next album, or I should say albums, because I couldn't pick between both because it's from the same nigga. He let us down twice, y'all. He let me down twice in the same year. Logic with Bobby Tarantino 2 and Young Sinatra 4. I couldn't pick, so I said, fuck it, I'm gonna put both of them on. Logic, y'all, Logic is just like a guy who, like, I know he doesn't care about what people think about his music, which is all good, but when it comes to his albums and his work, he just always seems to fall short conceptually and just does not listen and does the same shit over and over again, says the same shit, and he does not bring really anything unique or new to the table, and when he tries to, it just falls short. And that happens with Bobby Tarantino 2 and Young Sinatra. Like, he tries to like shoot for this goal, and it just always seems to just miss the mark a little bit or a lot of it, and it's just like the beats on these projects are just so like basic and bottom of the barrel. I mean, you know, there isn't really anything amazing, and then when he tries to go out the box with his subject matter, he just pulls back in talking about the same things, like his upbringing, which you've heard a million times, the fact that he's biracial, which you've heard a million times, and the fact that, you know, he wants peace, love, and positivity, but he'll still kill other rappers and motherfuckers, which is like, what do you want, nigga? Choose what you want. And then, like, you know, you get hyped for stuff like on Young Sinatra 4 with the Wu-Tang Forever track, which just was not even as great as it probably could have been or should have been. And, I mean, it's just, you know, it's like, you know, he's got the Ultra 85 album that he's working on, which I'm pretty sure is going to be another conceptual project as well. But after Everybody and the Bobby Tarantinos and now Young Sinatra 4, it's just like, you know, it's like, I mean, you know, I'm not really looking forward to anything next from Logic. And like, I really have high hopes because he is a talented cat, but I just feel like he's always misguided with his direction, and he just needs somebody to kind of like help him steer his ship a little bit better with his concepts and his themes. So hopefully the next album, Ultra 85, is better, but I mean, who fucking knows? Who fucking knows? But yeah, both these albums to me were letdowns. Next album on the list, y'all, goes to Kanye West with Ye. And then again, Kanye on here doing like the whole goddamn 9-song or 7-song, whatever the fuck it was. And like this album right here just, yeah, it just didn't do anything for me. Like, as far as the whole series of albums, I have to say, between this and, I'll count Nas there, between this and Nas, this was the weakest one. I mean, compared to Pusha and Kids See Ghosts, he really didn't do much for his own album. The production on here was blah. The whole bipolar thing was like, okay, he's talking about he's bipolar, and he's expressing that, but the songs on here just didn't really resonate with me that well. And it's just like, as far as a Kanye West project goes, this is nowhere near any of his best work, and I'm just, like, I don't know where Kanye's gonna go from this. And then he was supposed to drop Younge, which didn't happen because of the whole fiasco he was trying to do with the whole Trump shit and everything else in between. Like, Kanye just has had a rough year on the musical side, and I just don't think that this album right here really stuck with anybody. I mean, when it dropped, people were talking about it, of course, but it kind of just like faded away after a while because it just didn't really leave any impression like albums like College Dropout or Late Registration or My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy did. And I just don't think that, you know, it lived up to its hype and appeal. So, I mean, you shouldn't have made this shit in Wyoming, nigga. That's what it is. You shouldn't, being in Wyoming, fuck shit up. Like, fuck the mountains and shit. Like, seriously, that shit didn't help. So, hopefully, Younge is better. I doubt it is. I don't know. So, we'll just see what Kanye does next. But, yeah, I mean, it's whatever. So, it was definitely a letdown. Out of the 7-song series of albums he put out, this definitely was one of the weaker ones. And it was his own shit, too. So, I mean, that's not good, Kanye. That's not good at all. But there it is. definitely Letdown, Kanye West with Ye. And the last album, y'all, is the quote-unquote worst album of the year for me. Like, and y'all already probably know what I'm about to say and what it is, because, like, I just had no desire to listen to this shit. I reviewed it, and I didn't like it, and I hated it even more with the whole after-the-fact shit. Like, Drake, Scorpion, did not like this album, y'all. Like, even a Letdown, it's like, I knew it was going to be fucking, I wasn't going to like it, but shit, like, I was hoping for something, but god damn it, y'all, I just did not care for this album at all. Like, from the beats to the subject matter to everything. Watch the review. I'm not even gonna waste my time on it. And then he like did a fucking update patch on the shit or some shit like it's the goddamn DLC. Fuck that. No, this album is just not for me. I did not enjoy it at all. It just, Drake just does nothing for me at all. Like, and I mean, I don't know how he continues to just make these albums that people just go crazy over or that sell crazy, because I just don't see the appeal. He does the same shit over and over again, same formula, but it works for him, but not for me. So this is my worst album of the year, biggest letdown, and I just do not care for this album. It's not even in the, I trash ban that shit super fast, y'all. So Drake, Scorpion, worst album of the year. Watch my review if you want to see why, but yo, couldn't do it. I did it, but I couldn't do it at the same time. So there we go, y'all. That is my top 10 unreviewed albums and my top 5 letdowns in 2018. Let me know what you think of the list. If you agree, if you disagree, if there's some albums that you thought were slept on that you want to mention, drop them in the comments. Whatever albums were letdowns for you, drop them in the comments as well. Let's talk about that shit. And there it is, second list in the books. So the next list is going to be the top 15 honorable mentions. Yes, I have 15 honorable mentions this year because so many albums dropped. So that's going to be the next video that's going to drop tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that. But yeah, there it is. It's in the books. So give it a thumbs up, drop a comment, tell me what you think of the list. Give me your list. You know how it goes. And we're going to get to the next one tomorrow. So until next time, I say my leave. Granddad, the top 10 unreviewed albums of the year. Top 5 letdown albums of the year. There they go. What you think? Tell me what you think. I told you what I think. If you don't like it, fuck you. If you do, cool. We cool peoples. Whatever. I don't care. It's my list, goddammit. But yo, I can't wait because now we're getting into them real albums that I'm really loving. The top 15 honorable mentions and the top 15 of the year. It's coming. Be on the lookout. I'm out of here.